Hey gang, and welcome back. These videos are brought to you by Card Conduit, the best place to sell your unused collection fast and easily. 401 Games, Canada's top shop for all your hobby and TCG needs. Dragon Shield, the strongest sleeves for your strongest decks. Moxfield, the easiest way to store and share your deck lists. And Foil Armor, flatten your foils fast. Archer wins the die roll and starts us off. He draws, plays a command tower, and then taps it for a black to cast a Blood-Soaked Champion. Metcha draws and plays a tap-fetid Pools. Kuzno's land drop is a Spire of Industry, and he taps it to cast that turn 1 Soul Ring. He then taps the Soul Ring to Mountain Cycle an Oliphant and passes. Sammy just plays a tap Cinder Glade, and we move back to Arja's turn. For turn 2, Arja plays out an Umbral Expanse, and then casts a Gutterbones. He swings the Blood-Soaked Champion at Sammy, dealing 2 and passing. Metcha's land drop is a Yavimaya Cradle of Growth, and he pays 2 for 3 visits, tutoring for a land and passing. Kuzno just plays a tapped Rogran Triome and ships it. Sammy's got a forest, and pays 2 for Twitching Doll. Archer plays out an Exotic Orchard, and he casts Breena. He then swings at Kuzno and Metcha with a creature apiece, and puts 2+1/+1 counters onto both the champion and Gutterbones with Breena's trigger. This also has Arja drawing 2, and Kuzno and Metcha then take 4. Matt's got a swamp, and he casts a Malevolent Rumble. This gets him Takenuma off of it. He also gets an Eldrazi Spawn token, which he sacrifices to help cast a Vastland Scavenger. Kuzno's turn has him casting Escape Protocol, and he then plays a tapped Hollowed Fountain. Sammy plays out an Inkmoth Nexus, and then pays 3 for Cultivate. He puts a basic to the field, and 1 to his hand. Arja's land drop is an Opal Palace, and he then casts Delny. He follows up with a Lightstall Inquisitor, and the trigger gets copied thanks to Delny, and all of his opponents exile 2 cards from hand. He then swings Breena at Sammy, then Gutterbones at Kuzno, and Blood-Soaked Champion at Mathieu. He gets his Breena triggers, puts them onto the Gutterbones, and Mathieu then blocks with a Scavenger to trade. This has Kuzno taking 8, and Sammy taking 1 commander damage, with Arja passing after that. Matt's got a forest, and he then casts a Devastation Tide, bouncing all non-land permanents back to their owner's hands. Kuz has got a swamp, and recasts his Soul Ring. He then brings out Elesh Norn, Mother of Machines, and passes. Sammy draws for turn, and plays his forest that was exiled to the Lightstall Inquisitor. He then casts his commander with Toph, Hardheaded Teacher, but doesn't get her ETB trigger because of Elesh Norn. Arja plays a Plains, and recasts Delny. He then plays out a Dark Confidant, and passes. Metcha's turn has him playing Teval, and he then plays a Breeding Pool tapped, and passes. Kuzno draws, playing a Plains off the Lightstall Inquisitor, and he then casts Breya. He makes 4 Thopter tokens as she comes in thanks to Elesh Norn, and he then swings Elesh Norn at Arja. Arja takes the 4, and Kuzno passes. Sammy draws, and casts Branching Evolution, which triggers Toph, and he gets to Earthbend for 1 on his Inkmoth Nexus. He then plays a forest, and casts Kami of Whispered Hopes, and this gets him to Earthbend again, on a mountain this time, and thanks to the evolution, adds 2 counters instead. Arja hits a Curse of Silence and Necropotence off Dark Confidants, losing a total of 4, and then draws for turn. He plays a Tainted Field, and then swings both of his creatures at Mathieu. Matt takes the hit for 4, and Arja then overloads a Damnation after combat. With that on the stack, Kuzno sacrifices 2 Thopters to gain 5 life, and the Dam then resolves, wiping the board. After that, Arja casts the Lightstall Inquisitor, and then Gutterbones, and passes. Matt draws and plays out a Misty Rainforest. He then recasts Teval, and passes. Kuzno draws for turn, and then cycles Polluted Mire, drawing again. He then casts Escape Protocol, and follows up with a Baleful Strix. He draws a mountain as it enters, and then plays a mountain, and passes. Sammy draws and then casts Tribute to the World Tree in his main phase. He follows up with a Twitching Doll, and as it comes in, he gets to put 4 counters onto it with the Tribute to the World Tree and Branching Evolution working together, and he passes after that. Arja draws and casts Breena again, and then casts Animate Dead on Elesh Norn Grand Cenobite from his graveyard. He then moves to combat, and swings the Lightstall Inquisitor at Sammy, and the Gutterbones at Mathieu. He puts the Breena trigger on the Inquisitor. Matt and Sammy then take the damage. Arja's second main phase has him casting Curse of Silence, and names Breya. He then finishes up by playing a Baron Moor, and passes. Matt draws and swings Teval at Sammy. This gets him a mill trigger, and he gets a Port of Karfell with a Teval trigger, and makes a zombie druid token, and Sammy then takes the hit for 2. After combat, Mathieu plays Takenuma, and he then casts Nexus of Fate from Exile, taking another turn, and moves to that extra turn as well. Matt's extra turn is quite quick, as he draws, casts Crucible of Worlds, and then plays an Undercity Sewers, surveilling 1. Kuz just plays a tap Steam Vents, and passes. Sammy draws, and recasts Toph, this time getting her ETB trigger, and discards a card to get back Cultivate. He then swings the Twitching Doll at Kuzno. This has Sammy drawing off of Breena, and Arja puts the counters onto Breena from her trigger, and Kuzno then takes the hit for 4. After that, Sammy passes turn. Arja draws and casts Gix, and then goes to combat, swinging Breena at Sammy and everything else at Mathieu. Arja gets to put the Breena trigger onto the Lightstall Inquisitor, and Sammy and Matt then take the damage. Arja then casts a Ruthless Technomancer after combat, which has Mathieu responding with a Gifts Ungiven. Sammy gives Mathieu Cling to Dust and Deadly Rollick, and the Technomancer then resolves, sacrificing the Lightstall Inquisitor. This has Arja making some treasures, and passing turn. Mathieu's turn has him drawing and then casting a Squirming Emergence to try and bring back Amulet of Vigor from his graveyard. Arja responds to this by activating the Technomancer to sacrifice some treasures to try and bring back the Marionette Master. This has Mathieu responding with Deadly Rollick and targets the Technomancer. The removal then resolves, and Mathieu follows up by casting Cling to Dust with the ability on the stack to try and exile the Marionette Master. Arja responds to this with an Imp's Mischief, losing 1 life to redirect the Cling to Dust to exile Mathieu's own Amulet of Vigor that's still in his graveyard. That then happens, and responding to it still, Mathieu then escapes Cling to Dust from his graveyard to still hit the Marionette Master. It's gone, this fizzles to reanimate, and Mathieu then moves to his main phase, playing a Great Arishan City from his graveyard, and then casting Regrowth, and returns to hand Deadly Rollick, and passes. Kuz draws, casts Riptide Gearhulk, and as it enters, bounces the Branching Evolution, Curse of Silence, and Crucible of Worlds. Sammy's turn has him drawing and casting Vorinclex. He gets to Earthbend on a mountain, which unfortunately gets taken out immediately because of Elesh Norn's static effect. Sammy then gets a Stomping Ground, and a Taiga, and puts them to hand. He then plays Taiga, and casts Cultivate. Once more he gets to Earthbend, which unfortunately gets taken out immediately, but he goes to find a basic for the field, and 1 for his hand. He then passes turn. Arja draws, and swings Breena at Kuzno, Gutterbones at Sammy, and Gix and Elesh Norn at Mathieu. The Breena triggers go on Gix and the Gutterbones, and Mathieu chumps Gix, while Sammy and Kuzno opt to take the damage. Arja's second main phase has him losing 3 to Gix to draw 3, and he then activates Gix, discarding 8 cards, and targets Sammy with Gix's ability. He's able to cast the Great Henge, Exploration Broodship, Biophagus, Kadama of the West Tree, Giggling Skitterspike, and Morag, with all the creatures entering the Great Henge triggers, but responding to the Morag version of this, Kuzno cycles an Ash Barrens and pays the 1 to escape protocol to flicker his Riptide Gearhulk. It comes back, and hits just Morag with the trigger. Arja then casts a Disciple of Freyalise finally, and as it comes in, sacrifices Gutterbones. He gains some life, and draws some cards. Arja then plays a Plains for turn, and he stations the Broodship with Elesh Norn, which allows him to play a second Plains as land for turn. He follows up with a Talisman of Hierarchy, and then wraps his turn up with Thalia, Garden of Thraben, and passes. Matt draws and activates Port of Karfell, getting a Naga Fleshcrafter, and has it come in as a copy of Elesh Norn. He then plays a Mystic Sanctuary, and he puts Devastation Tide back on top of his library, and passes. Kuzno just plays a Plains, and passes. Sammy draws, plays a land for turn, and casts Shamanic Revelation. This has Sammy drawing 3 cards, and he then casts a Hardened Scales, and passes. Arja plays a Swamp, and immediately monstresses the Skitterspike. Kuzno responds to this by cycling a capital city. This allows him to flicker the Riptide Gearhulk, and he bounces Elesh Norn. With that target on the stack, Arja responds with Path to Exile, and targets the Naga Fleshcrafter. Mathieu responds to this with Deadly Rollick, and Arja's Elesh Norn again. And with that on the stack, Arja responds by attempting to monster the Skitterspike yet again. The Monstrous then resolves, and the Deadly Rollick then resolves, and the Riptide Flicker then resolves, and buries the Skitterspike and the Hardened Scales. Arja then casts a Duelist Heritage, and he swings out at Mathieu, giving the Disciple of Freyalise double strike. Before damage, Kuzno cycles a Lorien Revealed and pays to flicker the Gearhulk again, burying the Disciple again, and goes to find a Fetid Pools to put to hand. He then cycles that, getting another flicker thanks to the escape protocol on the Gearhulk, and this time buries Gix. Arja's remaining creatures then connect, and he gets 2 lands off the Kadama of the West Tree triggers. He then plays an Ash Barrens and passes. Metcha draws his Devastation Tide, and casts it with a Miracle. This has the board basically getting bounced, and he follows up by casting Sylvan Safekeeper. He follows up by casting Crucible of Worlds, and then plays a Field of the Dead, making a zombie token as it comes in, and passing. Kuzno's land drop is a Pillar Verge Pathway, and he then casts a Soul Ring. Kuzno then recasts his protocol, and follows up by recasting the Gearhulk. As it enters, he uses the trigger to tuck the Crucible. Sammy draws, Shocking in a Stomping Ground, and recasts Tribute to the World Tree. He then casts Helana and Elena, and follows up with Birds of Paradise and Twitching Doll. The birds and Twitching Doll get counters as they come in, and Sammy then goes to combat. He puts the Helana and Elena counters onto the Birds of Paradise, and more importantly gives them haste. He swings it at Metcha for lethal. With nothing else, Sammy passes. Arja's turn has him recasting Breena, the Duelist's Heritage, and then a new card with Black Market connections. He passes, and Kuzno cycles a Glittering Massif on his end step, flickering the Gearhulk again, and buries the Birds of Paradise and Breena as it comes back. Kuzno draws, and casts Krang. He then swings it at Arja, and it connects, and he passes after that. Sammy draws and casts Kadama of the West Tree, and then Morag, which he'd drawn. He goes to combat and puts the Helana and Elena trigger on Morag, and he swings him at Kuzno, and Helana and Elena go into Arja. With creatures attacking, Arja gets a Duelist Heritage trigger, and he puts Double Strike on Morag. The creatures all then connect, and in response, Arja casts an Opposition Agent to at least stop the landfall triggers. Sammy's second main phase then has him playing a City of Traitors, and this gains him an extra combat step. He gets another Helana and Elena trigger and puts 4 more counters onto Morag. He then swings it at Kuzno again, and sends Helana and Elena and the Twitching Doll at Arja. Once more they connect, with Arja taking the basics because of the Opposition Agent. After combat, Sammy casts a Badger Mole Cub, and this allows him to Earthbend on his City of Traitors, and he passes. Arja draws, and puts 2 life into the Black Market connections to draw again in his main phase. He doesn't have anything to stop Sammy though, and he knows when he's beat and scoops it up. Game review time. This one was a bit long, as often games that have so many bounce spells and bounce effects in the game often do. Between 2 Devastation Tides and several Riptide Gearhulk ETB triggers, there just seemed like not a lot of permanence until those players were dealt with. I was impressed by Sammy's Toph deck. I thought the City of Traitors with Earthbending was a pretty sweet tech piece, and it was just all around a lot of fun to see. This video wouldn't be possible without the help from my sponsors, but it definitely wouldn't be possible without the help from you, the viewers, and my patrons. So I just want to say thank you for watching, and to remember, friends are just opponents you haven't eliminated yet.